Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to News Dose. And it looks like E3 season has officially begun. Things are happening from multiple big publishers. PlayStation announced their first big event where they're planning to showcase one of their upcoming PS5 exclusives. Then you have Xbox, and not only does it sound like the date of their event may have leaked, but it also sounds like they have several major games planned to be at this showcase, or at least to be revealed throughout the summer. Definitely exciting stuff there, so we're going to talk about that, plus a whole lot more. In fact, let's get started with an event that's happening later this week, and something we've been talking about for a very long time. Yeah, so we've been talking about this Sonic 30th anniversary for such a long time on the channel. I mean, it's probably been close to a year or something like that when we really started to hear about Sega having some big plans for Sonic in 2021. And after a lengthy, long wait and several rumors, they're finally going to break some official news on that. Yeah, so this will be taking place on May 27th, which is quickly becoming an exciting day for gamers. I'll kind of talk about that more in a bit, but a Sonic live stream will take place on the 27th, where they plan to give us our first look at some upcoming projects, partnerships, and events to celebrate Sonic's 30th anniversary. Fans of Sonic are absolutely going to want to tune into this event. There are some rumors going around that Sega is working on a Sonic Colors remaster, as well as a Sonic collection that includes Sonic 3. Fans have wanted a Sonic 3 re-release for a long time, so that would be a cool way to celebrate Sonic's history. Considering this is Sonic's 30th anniversary, and as much as they've teased their plans over the last year, I think it's possible that we hear about the next completely new Sonic game here. I don't know if it'll be a sequel to popular entries such as Sonic Adventure, Generations, or Sonic Mania, or if it'll be a completely new Sonic title, but I think that there is a good chance that we get something exciting here. My vote is for Sonic Adventures 3 personally, as I loved Adventures 2 on the Dreamcast, but we really only have to wait a couple more days. So I'm ready to see what Sega has planned. If you have any predictions, let me know in the comments below. Now, speaking of Sega, they actually announced a new game today, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, which was kind of a surprise for multiple reasons. We've talked about them working on a new Virtua Fighter in the past, as they announced Virtua Fighter X Esports last year, but this is a remake of the 2006 Virtua Fighter 5 using the Yakuza Dragon engine. I'm a little surprised they decided to do a remake, but I like the decision here. Virtua Fighter 5 was a good game during the PS360 generation, and with this remake they can possibly make it even better. From the trailer, it does look pretty good. I'm not going to say the visuals blow me away or anything like that, but it looks solid using that Dragon engine, and really, the most important thing when it comes to fighting games is the mechanics good, and how's the netcode. Now that still remains to be seen, but I think the fighting mechanics will probably be a strong point considering it already has a good base being a remake. The other surprising part to this announcement, though, is that it actually releases next week on June 1st as a PlayStation 4 exclusive. There's also a rumor that this will be a PlayStation Plus game, and that would be pretty awesome. We'll probably get an official announcement on that here soon, but it is skipping out on an Xbox and PC release as of this moment. It's also not a PlayStation 5 title. That's always a little disappointing, as I'm always in favor of cross-platform fighting games when you have the chance. I believe every fighting game needs cross-platform to keep an ongoing, vibrant online community, but you know, it is what it is. Either way, this is still such a cool reveal, and if you enjoyed Virtua Fighter 5, it'll be back next week with that remake. Moving on, some interesting things are happening over at Valve. It was about a week or so ago when it seemed like Gabe Newell was hinting at Valve releasing some games for consoles before the end of 2021. When he was asked about bringing Valve games to consoles, he simply replied, "You will get a better idea of that by the end of this year, and it won't be the answer you expect." At the time, there was speculation that this either meant Valve games was heading to the PS5 and Xbox, or Steam was coming to consoles. Well, what if instead he was teasing a new Valve console? And not just a home console, but rather a handheld Steam device. Yeah, so check this out. Some new strings were found in the recent Steam client update that could point to a handheld Steam console. Apparently back in September, it mentioned a Neptune's game collection, which was interesting, but now there seems to be more happening with Neptune, which could potentially point to a new Valve console. Things like Steam Pal and Steam Pal Game List popped up in the beta client update. That wasn't all though. According to Steam Database, the beta client update references controller bindings, new UI strings for quick access, system settings such as airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a power menu were all spotted. So yeah, Steam PAL and Neptune sounds a lot like a mobile device, and that could be really interesting. An official handheld Steam device could work out if done right. I do think that there is a market for a device like that. I mean, yeah, there are already several third-party PC handhelds that can boot into Windows and Steam, but having a dedicated Steam handheld made by Valve themselves, yeah, I'd like to see what that would be like. Just turn it on and have it directly boot into Steam could be cool. With any device like this though, you have to wonder about the price. Can they make an affordable Steam handheld, and what's its specs? Can it be upgraded, or is it going to be a closed console? There's a lot of questions when it comes to a device like this, but as a fan of handheld consoles, I would be interested in this. Steam has a massive library of games, and if it can support a decent amount of those at acceptable settings, I think that sounds good. I'm also curious as to how they would design this controller though. Would it have analog sticks, or would they instead mimic their Valve controller with those touchpads, which I owned and I think is pretty decent? I always thought that design deserved to have another chance with an upgrade, but let me know what you think about all this. Would you be interested in a Valve handheld console? Let's talk about PlayStation though, because they just announced an exciting event for May 27th. Yeah, that Sonic event is not the only thing worth tuning in on the 27th, as PlayStation will have a State of Play on the same day. Yeah, it's starting to shape up to be a pretty good week for games, but this event is all about Horizon Forbidden West. There's obviously a lot of excitement for this game, as the first was extremely successful on the PS4. The PS4 brought a number of new IP last generation, and debatably Horizon Zero Dawn was among the best of these. Now personally, I would say that Horizon has one of the better open worlds in gaming, because the setting is just so interesting. I think by having all these futuristic dinosaur robot-like things in a more primal setting is just so cool and unique, but I think they can improve with the sequel. Now obviously with the PlayStation 5 you can bump up the visuals and frame rate, but in terms of gameplay, I expect Guerrilla Games will learn from the first game and make the sequel even better. And that's what's really exciting here. This State of Play isn't just going to show a cinematic trailer. No, instead, this is a 20-minute showcase where they will reveal 14 minutes of in-game action for Horizon Forbidden West captured directly on the PlayStation 5. That is exactly what you want to hear. There's not going to be all that speculation on what this game is and what it isn't, because it's just some kind of short cinematic trailer that doesn't really tell you all that much. No, instead, we're going to see exactly what it is thanks to them prioritizing gameplay. We're going to see what the PS5 is capable of here too. Yes, Forbidden West is confirmed for the PS4 as well, but this game is being developed by Guerrilla Games, which are well known for making gorgeous looking games. This dates all the way back to the Killzone days, when fans were just absolutely blown away by Killzone 2 on the PlayStation 3. So I expect them to show the power of the PS5 here, and I'm sure we will hear plenty about its load times and DualSense features as well. Aloy's bow is her primary weapon after all, and I fully expect them to highlight the adaptive triggers by emulating the tension of her pulling back on a bow. I mean, if you think about it, I think that Horizon and the DualSense controller just fits each other perfect with that bow. Again though, this showcase will be on May 27th and gameplay will be revealed at 2 p.m. Pacific time. I'm definitely excited to see what they do with the sequel, and maybe, hopefully, we get an official release date here. Now, it also sounds like Xbox has big plans heading into E3. As we already know, Xbox and Bethesda are looking to do a joint event this year, but outside of games like Starfield and Halo Infinite, what should we expect? Well, first off, let's actually talk about the date of this event. They still haven't quite confirmed anything, but according to Jeff Grubb, which is increasingly leaking information here recently, mentioned that it will take place on June 13th in the morning. He does say that Xbox will officially announce that this week. So I guess we'll get an official announcement for that soon and see if he's correct here. As for the games though, that's where things get really interesting. So this is coming from Clobril, which is a highly respected insider in the Xbox community. He does have a pretty good track record, so there is a reason to listen to him, but per usual, anytime that we talk about rumors and leaks on this channel, you of course need to take that information with a grain of salt until proven true. Now, with that said, let's take a look at what Clobril had to say. Last year, Xbox Games Showcase revealed 4 new AAA games coming from their own studios: Forza Motorsport, State of Decay 3, Avowed, and of course, Fable. For this year, including XGSP and Bethesda, so far I do think I already know about 5 completely new AAA titles being announced this summer, some more expected than others. So there it is. According to Clobril, they have 5 new AAA games to announce, though I do want to point out he did italicize think. He's not confirming anything, and it doesn't even seem like he's 100% positive, but considering that he posted this, he must at the very least believe there is a very good chance of this happening. Now, what could these games be though? Based off what we know right now, I think we can make some predictions. Forza Horizon 5 has been widely rumored for a while. Arcane Studios, the studio behind Dishonored and Prey, is also rumored to be working on a new vampire game, codenamed Omen, that will show up at E3. That might have been true after all, and as talented as they are, that would be exciting. Typhoon is another codename that keeps popping up. It's possibly an open-world multiplayer game. Those right there are the 3 that immediately comes to my mind that might be a little closer to release. If we want to go a little further out though, they could possibly release a teaser for Compulsion's next game, or the Hideo Kojima partnership if they did end up sealing up that partnership. I'm not sure that they will announce those games here though, because they could be early in development. One way or the other though, 5 new AAA games coming from Xbox Studios and Bethesda, that definitely sounds exciting. That Xbox event is definitely shaping up to be a good one if all this does indeed happen. If you have any predictions as to what these 5 new AAA games are though, let me know in the comments below. Let's take a look at that poll of the day though. Of course, yesterday a big leak hit the internet. Reportedly, a new Final Fantasy is in development exclusively for the PS5 by Team Ninja. And interestingly enough, it will play similar to Dark Souls and Nioh. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I am absolutely sold on this idea, as I am a fan of both Final Fantasy and Dark Souls, and Team Ninja has already been successful with a game like that being Nioh. It really just seems like a great match all around, so I asked you, the community, would you be interested in a game like this? And you all made me proud here and voted yes. I'm not going to lie, I would have been a little disappointed if the majority of you voted no here. Now, some of you did mention being concerned about it being overly difficult, as that's what the Soulsborne genre is typically known for. I enjoy a challenge myself, but I certainly understand the concern, especially with a Final Fantasy game like this. So I do want to point out that the initial rumor does say that they are making this game more accessible than games like Nioh and Dark Souls. The way I take that is that yes, they probably will have some difficulty settings. They're also apparently planning to do an alpha this summer where they can get feedback from fans, and if there is no settings, I'm sure that they will tune that to fans' liking. And that's the thing about this game that has me so excited. Team Ninja really is a talented developer, and I mean, if you think about it, Team Ninja was the absolute perfect choice for a game like this. They have experience working on Dark Souls-like games with the Nioh franchise, and they've also worked on Final Fantasy Dissidia. Yeah, I'm really hoping this leak is true, and I'm glad to see you all excited for it as well. Anyways though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget the bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.